Hi there. You're welcome to this episode of Laboratory Method and Safety Tips. Here, we'll be looking at improvisions we make to methods in the laboratory and also simple safety tips that can help prevent damage, loss, and accidents in our daily or routine laboratory work. Today, we'll be looking at Soxhlet apparatus, the use of Soxhlet apparatus. Soxhlet apparatus is actually used for solid liquid extraction. Soxhlet apparatus looks like this. Usually it's a glass equipment used for solid liquid extraction, or what is known as leaching. And what is leaching or solid liquid extraction? It is a process where a component in a solid mixture is removed by use of a solvent. Of course, if you go into the literature, you will see the criteria by which such solvents are chosen. But the bottom line is that you use a solvent to extract a solid component from a mixture of solids. A typical example is when you leach your tea from your tea leaf. That's a typical example of solid liquid extraction or leaching. In this case, you are using water, boiled water, to remove the tea from the tea leaf. So, one of the equipment used in the laboratory, or one of the apparatus used in the laboratory, is the Soxhlet apparatus. And it consists of mainly three pieces, or three components, or it's a three-piece equipment. It consists of glass flask, the extraction chamber. This is the extraction chamber, which contains the solid to be extracted. In this case, this solid is contained in a cellulose timbu. This is known as a timbu. You can have a glass timbu as well, which has sieves at the bottom. But in the case of cellulose timbu, the solvents are permeable through the walls of the cellulose. So it does not need sieve at the bottom. So once you load in your solids into the timbu, you can place it in the extraction chamber. And then you put it on through the grinded joints. Both the extraction chamber and the flask, round bottom flask here, have grounded joints which enable a perfect fit of the two. And then after that, you can then slot in this tip, which is also another grinded joint of the top of the extractor, to the condenser. The upper part, the third part, is the condenser, in which water flows for cooling. The purpose of the condenser is just to cool the solvent that is evaporated from the flask. As you put on the heat, the solvent is evaporated, it's heated to boiling, it is evaporated, and then the condenser cools it into liquid in its purest form, and then it drops into the extraction chamber, which contains the solid. So as the liquid accumulates in the extraction chamber, it percolates through the solids and selectively removes the solid component that you want to remove. And then, as it does that, it continues to fill up the extraction chamber until it gets to the maximum level where it is liquid, which is a mixture of the solvent and the extracted solid, is siphoned back into the flask at the bottom. And then the process is repeated again and again and again. So when do you stop extraction? You stop extraction when you see that the liquid in the extraction chamber has become clear, has become very clear, you know. For example, you can see these ones are ongoing extraction. You can see these ones are ongoing extraction. And you can see because there is extraction, the solvent here has removed part of the solid mixture that is required to be removed, and so it is brownish in color. You know, it's somewhat dark, amber color, but dark. You know, so now you can see the liquid fills the extraction chamber, and then when it gets to the top, it siphons back. As it does that, the liquid that is the solvent that is evaporated and settling in the extraction chamber becomes more clearer and clearer and clearer. So that's how you know that the component you are removing is becoming less and less, and so equilibrium is being achieved. You know, so that is that. Again, the water supplied to the condenser can be connected directly to the tap. In this case, it is connected directly to the tap, and they are connected in series. The condensers are connected in series. In other words, the water from the tap goes to the first condenser here, and the outlet from the first condenser becomes the inlet to the second condenser, and the outlet from the second condenser becomes the inlet to the third condenser, and so on. You know, so in other words, the condensers are connected in series, while the extraction is taking place in parallel. So now, is it possible for us to? The question arises: is it possible for us to carry out extraction using Soxhlet if there is no cooling water for condenser? The answer is no. We cannot carry out extraction if there is no cooling water for condenser. If there is no cooling water supply, extraction cannot be carried out. So hence you have to connect the condenser to the tap directly, and you open you open the valve of the inlet water supply. You know, make sure there is water flow before you switch on your hot plate. You know, so but in some laboratories you may not have direct water supply. Maybe there is shortage in water, or there is no pressure in the tap. How then? But there is water. So how then do we carry out our extraction? You know, there are other ways of supplying water to the condenser for cooling. So maybe in a separate video we'll look at that. But for today, there is a safety tip I want us to observe. We should observe when we are using the Soxhlet apparatus. If you look at this, you can see that the flask is sticking to the extraction chamber. In other words, the grinded joints are sticking together. We cannot remove it. At the end of the extraction, they stuck together, and if you try hard to remove it, you cannot remove it. If you try too hard, it's either you damage the equipment, and in which case you lose the entire experiment and all the effort and the data that you have acquired up to this stage. You know, so, and then damage is also very expensive. It's costly. Equipment like this, especially heat-resistant glass, made up of heat-resistant glasses like this, are quite expensive. So we will not want damage to our equipment. So when this happens, when the extraction chamber, the grinded joints stick together, what can we do to prevent this from happening? From the beginning, what we can do is that we can use what is known as the high vacuum grease. So if we have the high vacuum grease, we can smear it at the joint. We can smear it at this joint, at the joint of at the grinded joint between the extraction chamber and the flask. For example, we can put a thin film of this grease. We can place a very thin film of this grease. We rub it around the grinded joint, round and round and round. Make sure it's a thin film you are using. You rub it round and round. After rubbing it, then you can now fit it in properly. When you do this, after your extraction is complete, you can easily remove or separate the extraction chamber from the flask and carry out your solvent recovery, because at the end of the day, you are going to recover your solid component from the mixture of solvent and solid that you have extracted. So another way, if it is difficult getting, if you don't have access to the high vacuum grease, you can use the PTFE tape. I'm sure you have seen this being used by plumbers to provide sealing for joints. You know, when they are laying pipes, the joint between pipes. You know, so normally plumbers use this. So you can also use this as an alternative. All you need to do is to weave it around. Like this. Weave it around. A thin film of PTFE. PTFE, by the way, is polytetrafluoroethylene. You know, so once you do that, you make sure then you can slot it in. So once you finish your extraction, it will be very easy to remove, you know, and take your data and carry out your solvent recovery, you know. That is that about the tips that we need, because once we are able to do this, it means that we can prevent the loss of some of these apparatus or equipment. We can prevent damage to it, and so on and so forth. So thank you for watching. Invite your friends to like this channel, to follow. I welcome suggestions and tips and so on. Until we meet again in our next episode, I say bye-bye. Thank you.